everybody. Welcome back to Old Belief. And if you notice, I have someone here to me.
Hi.
So I'd like to introduce to you my friend, Sasha.
Hello.
You can tell us a little more about yourself, if you don't mind.
Hi. Hi everyone, I'm Sasha Shae. I am here with Raquel today because we are, what are we talking about today, Raquel?
We're going to be talking about maintaining moisture. And the reason being, lots of the times I get asked that question a lot. Like everyone who's asking for hair advice, one of the questions that they ask is, how in the world do I maintain moisture? So today we will be talking about maintaining moisture, and Sasha is here to give a different dynamic.
Yes.
So hopefully we learn a lot as it relates to just that and even more.
Yes.
So one thing that we do want to note, when it comes to moisture, is that a lot of the times that our hair lacks moisture or becomes very brittle or dry, it is because of the products that we use.
Right. And the thing is, a lot of products, they have really bad and harmful ingredients. So commonly, if you go to the store, wherever you buy your products, right, you'll probably see something like mineral oil, right, aka petroleum.
Right.
You've probably seen sulfates, right, and those are like few ingredients. What else would you possibly see in
alcohols?
Alcohol,
there are
right?
alcohols in so many different forms, and there's one particularly that stood out to us, and I think is isopropyl alcohol, and that specifically, it contributes to dry and brittle hair.
Right.
And then there are things like parabens and parabens. What else?
Phthalates.
It's a
long list. Okay, it's a very long
list of
list.
ingredients. And not only do these things cause damage to our hair, but they're also causing damage to our skin, to our insides. They're causing hormonal disruptions, and that's why we develop so many different hormonal balance issues. Right. And one of the things that I work with on a frequent basis is hormonal imbalances.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they don't realize the stuff you're applying topically really plays a huge major role about what goes on inside. So
it does.
You definitely want to check your ingredients.
Yes, that's one thing that you want to take note of, especially since the skin is the largest organ of our body. And a lot of the times we forget that our hair is part of our integumentary system. So we do want to take note of the stuff that we put onto our hair, because whether you know it or not, everything is being absorbed into our bodies.
Right.
And one thing that I love to stick with, and you can never go wrong that way, is the simple things that God has given to us in nature.
Right. Keeping it basic will never fail you.
Very basic.
Never.
Even as little as one ingredient.
Yes.
Going directly to the source. So things like coconut oil,
aloe vera,
shea butter, and the
list goes on.
The long list of oils. Any single oil that you could think of, they have some type of benefit for our hair, not just our hair.
Multi-purpose, really.
Yeah.
So,
for example, coconut oil.
Right. Our favorite.
I think coconut oil is my blood type. But coconut oil is so versatile. You can use it for your hair. You can use it for your skin, your teeth.
Everything.
Everything in your food.
Right?
Yeah. Everything that you could think of. Coconut oil.
Coconut oil is BFF.
Yes. And that's the blessing that God has given to us in nature, in the simple things. So every day I'm thankful for that. And not only that, but you save a lot of money that way. Imagine not having to buy conditioners and moisturizers because you're using one
You're saving all the money, okay?
Exactly. And listen,
we
love saving. We love saving.
We do.
So going natural helps your pockets and your health both internally and externally.
Yep.
Yes.
So as well, sort of health. There's this popular, talk out there, and a lot of times when people bring up like, oh, the moisture, I have an issue with moisture in my hair. One of the things they'll say is something to the effect of, oh, my hair's so dry, but it's because I have like bad hair.
Yeah.
And oh, you have good hair. So we want to take a moment and debunk this whole theory of what's good hair and what's not, because it's personally or pet peeves to hear when people say, it's like good hair is a specific type or whatever. So I just want to let you know, okay? All hair is good hair. Good hair is really manageable hair, okay?
Yes.
So once you are able to like manage and maintain your hair, get your moisture levels up, and really that boils back down to knowing how to love and care for your hair. But never believe that anybody's hair type is a bad hair type, because that really isn't a thing. Like,
or
that
another
makes
hair
no
type
sense.
is superior to yours.
Right, like,
because at the end of the day, your hair is your hair and it suits you, and
that's how God made
any
it.
hair could be bad hair or good hair. What makes it good hair is how you take care of it, how you learn to love it.
Right.
For example, I get that all the time. Oh, you have good hair, so you can be talking. Yes, I can be, because guess what? This is not manageable a lot of the times. But because I've made that transition to natural, because I started to pay attention to my hair and what it wants, and you know, the things that I put in, what works, what doesn't work, then it became more and more manageable. And Sasha can relate as well.
Because, like, I mean, for me, I'm predominantly type 4. I mean, you know, ignore the fact that we're all wrapped up and cute or whatever, but I am type 4, so all the 4s. And one of the biggest things that I had to learn was that, you know, one, it takes time to deal with my hair. Never do my hair when I'm like stressed out or I'm tired, because eventually that's just going to lead to breakage, because you're just going to rip through your hair. And then also I had to realize that my hair type is not like other people, where they could probably, you know, jump in the shower and wet their hair and maybe slap oil in it and you go. No, you have to figure out like what your hair type actually is. And hair type, when I say hair type, I don't mean like, oh, am I you know, type 4, type 3, type whatever. I mean more so like hair type in terms of, is your hair coarse, is it fine, is it dense, you know, all these different, basically get to know your hair. Never assume that somebody else, because their hair looks similar to yours, is going to dictate how you care for your hair, you know. So you have to get to that point where you really understand your own hair that you were given, really spend the time to actually take care of it, and really, you know, like understand, when does it become dry? What do I do now? When I did this thing, you know, it became moisturized and it stayed moisturized. Or when I neglect it like this, it becomes really dry and brittle. You have to pay attention to what's working and not working for your hair, and really, like, you know, like basically like
develop that intimate
is like love your hair, man. Like love it.
Just learn to love your hair.
You know?
You know, our hair speaks. I mean, we're not trying to say that the hair is saying right now it's time to moisturize me, but it does say something. So, you know, pay attention to what it reacts to, what it doesn't react to, you know, what works best, what doesn't work best. And
even in terms of what she's saying, what it speaks to you, it definitely tells you what's going on internally.
Yes.
Because from experience, I could tell you for years, like, you know, back when I used to do blogging about hair stuff or whatever, you know, I had like quote unquote methods down. However, I remember for like a good year and a half, my body was like going through, I guess, anemia, and I didn't know that I was actually anemic. And so my hair would fall out, and it was like, why is it falling out if I'm doing all these, you know, things that I know in the past they work? So basically, you have to have that balance between what's going on internally plus what you're doing externally.
Yes.
Pretty much be more holistic about your actual care.
Yes.
You know?
And so. I'm really happy that Sasha mentioned that, because a lot of the times we pay so much attention to the external things and neglect the internal, and then we say, oh, this is not working. This method, that doesn't work. Maybe it works for you, but it doesn't work for me. But you do have to realize that what you do inside as well as what you do externally,
plays
a big role, and then it could contradict itself. So paying attention to the insides. Now, what does that look like? What does paying attention to the insides look like? Now, and also the times we have dry hair. It's because we're dehydrated. Dehydration plays a major role in our hair being dry.
And your skin.
And your skin. So if you want moisturized hair, the first thing that you need to take a look at is how much water do you drink on a daily basis. And then when you analyze that, then you want to know that if you're drinking very little water, you do want to drink more water.
Right.
And what does how much water should I drink?
Well, it depends on how much you weigh.
Yes.
You know.
So we have to do some quick math, right? Yeah.
Well, what is it? You take half your body weight.
Yes.
And then you
divide
that by
2.
Right.
And that will give you the number of
ounces that you need for you.
Yes.
Per day.
And then if you want to get the number of cups that you need, then you just divide that again by 8.
Right.
Or you could just divide your body weight by 60.
Pretty much.
That works too. So let's take a quick example. Let's say now, really, I'm not good with math. But maybe Sasha is.
We're not.
Well, we might be doing some bad math today. But
wait. Calculators.
Yes.
Here
so
to save the day.
let's take an example. Let's say I weigh 140 pounds.
Right.
I weigh 140 pounds. So how much water do I need to drink every day? Divided by
16, right? You want okay.
So I need to drink about 9 glasses of water every single
And that's 9
day.
8-ounce glasses.
9 8-ounce glasses of water every single day so that I could get the adequate amount of water needed. Now,
of course, if you exercise, so
exactly.
you're going to need more.
So
and if
that
you're like
does
sweating,
not take
you're
into
going to need
account
more. So,
all of these things. So if you're working out, you're sweating, getting all of that in, then you definitely need more. And especially during the summer days, of course, you need to take in more water. And I'm sure your body calls for it more. So that's just a typical example. So a lot of people say, oh yeah, I drink water. Well, a lot of people, the reality is they're not drinking enough water. So we encourage you to drink more water.
Yes.
Some of the things that you could pay attention to is the foods that you eat.
Right, definitely. So, of course, we're advocating for plant-based, completely whole food plant-based.
Plant-based.
So I was saying, get with it.
Yes.
But, definitely pay attention to your diet because what you're eating 100% comes back out in how your body feels, how how you're going throughout your day. It will affect your skin, affects your hair completely. So overall, we've noticed that what's a great example of a tasty something that will be good for their hair, like maybe something
avocados, girl. Why? Because avocados, they're very high
fatty
in fat.
Good fats.
So anything with avocado. Now I love avocado.
Yeah.
Avocado ice cream, avocado
anything.
toast.
It doesn't matter.
Avocado.
We're here.
Period. Avocado.
Yes.
So that's just one example.
Right.
But imagine, all the other foods that you could eat that will be very beneficial, to healthy insides, contributing to healthy hair. Especially foods that are high in omega-3 fatty acids.
And by the way, we know the word on the street is you have to get that from fish. Not so, my friend. Flax seeds. They're your friend.
Chia seeds, walnuts. And for my Caribbean people, I'm excited to announce that breadfruit is high in omega-3 fatty acids. Now, the day that I found that out, guess what? I fell in love with breadfruit even more. But that is one way you could get your omega-3 fatty acids. And I know for some people, breadfruit just fall off the trees, and we look at it like, what's that?
Good stuff. Pick it up.
But it's the good stuff.
Good
so
stuff.
Again, you can make so many different things with breadfruit. Breadfruit pie, roasted breadfruit.
Or,
just
steamed
breadfruit, like
fried
mashed breadfruit,
breadfruit
salad, breadfruit. That is another high source of omega-3 fatty acids.
Right.
Now, our Black Lives Matter, so go plant-based. Yeah, go plant-based. So another, there are so many other things that we could do internally that will, help our hair, but we'll just, leave it at these 2 for now. And maybe in another video, we could talk more in depth on exactly, what you could do that will contribute to good, healthy, moisturized hair.
Yes.
Now, let's get to the externals. What are some of the things that you could do to keep your hair moisturized? Now, just before she mentions, Sasha and I, we have, different hair types, similar because I have some 4 and I also have some 3, but my hair does not respond to moisture in certain ways, and her hair does not respond to moisture in certain ways. So our hair does not respond to the same type of moisturizing methods, period. However, it does respond to the same simple ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how we apply them. So she'll share with us.
So, I mean, again, like, you know, first things first, definitely have to pay attention to internally, if anything, if you have, like, for example, anemia, that's going to shift how you moisturize your hair. So for me, I found, I don't know how many are familiar with, you know, of course there's the LOC method, LCO, the long list goes on, LAOC, you know, I've seen so many different ones, but like, you know, it's just really, the whole idea is you want to get some sort of a liquid or a cream and then some sort of oil-based product, right? So for me, what I found is depending on what's going on internally, it could really be any combination. It could be as simple as jumping in the shower, washing my hair, doing that whole routine, right? And then the moisture, the water that's still sitting on top of my hair, using like shea butter blended with like enough oils, and I'm good. Or if my hair goes through a period where it's like really, really like, you know, needs some overtime moisture throughout the week or whatever, could do mixes where it's like what is that, aloe vera juice mixed with, you know, water, and then whatever oils I feel like. So that ranges from jojoba oil, castor oil, really whatever oil I have on hand.
Yes.
And that's the next thing, like you don't want to, you know, like make yourself broke trying to fit, like use what you have to make it work. What else there? I've used like various different types of oils, you know, but what you really want to focus on is just being consistent, honestly. Like that's the key thing, being consistent, because you never want to get to a point where you have started 1 week and you see, oh, there's a little progress, and then like 2 weeks later you're like, oh, I could skip today and skip tomorrow, and then your hair's like, what's going on?
Crying out.
You know, I mean, I'm speaking to myself too, don't feel bad, because you know, consistency is the key in everything. Yes. It really is.
To success. Consistency, something that I've been learning as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as far as moisture, I've learned the simpler the better, and that means in both method plus what you use. Like you don't have to, you know, they sell you the pipe dream sometimes where, oh, you have to use this product and you have to use this and it has to be this and it has to be as extensive as XYZ. Like, to be honest, the simpler you keep it usually is the better, you know, for your hair. So what my suggestion is really, again, spending that time, get to know your hair, get to understand when does it get dry, why does it get dry, and then from that, you're more easily able to say, okay, I noticed that when I did this, it got dry. Let me try this product, you know, this product, and see how it goes. And the product could be, again, as simple as you mix in shea butter with like castor oil, or shea butter with, I don't know, olive oil. Most people usually have extra virgin olive oil. So, you know, you blend in that together and you say, okay, I'm gonna use that with a little aloe vera, you know, juice, and you try that. You also document, make notes, make notes of what you use, and like maybe even date it and say, on this day I tried XYZ. Try it for probably a week, 2 weeks, give it some time, you know, and really like keep progress on, was it working? What did you notice? Because the one thing you don't want to do is like hop, skip, and jump. Like, oh, I tried this today. 2 days later, I tried this, but then you don't know if this particular, you know, thing is like working for you, and then you're complaining like, oh, nothing. Well, you didn't give it a chance.
Yes.
So.
And one thing that I do want to encourage you is not to become overwhelmed.
Yes.
Because it might sound like too much, like documenting and all that. Listen. This is just for the process of getting to know what works for you.
Right.
And then for us, right, we also have to take into account, you know, the different seasons. So what works during the winter, what works during the spring and the autumn and the summer. So all of this is just, you know, to get to know our hair. Listen, if you want a good relationship, you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in.
True.
So, put in the work in, then you will reap the end result later, and then you can get to the point where you don't even have to think about it. You just know that this works, this didn't work, whatever, and then you can help other people as well who may have similar, you know, hair type or hair texture to get to the place that they need to be. So all of these are very important. And one thing that we also want to mention is the importance of deep conditioning.
Yes. So, I mean, a lot of people sometimes, you know, they believe, oh, you could deep condition maybe every 2 weeks, but to be honest, especially for like African Americans or, you know, Caribbean, you know, like basically black people, period, you know, like African, whatever kind of black you are, or kind of hair demands that you need weekly deep conditioning. Okay, like don't fool yourself thinking, oh, I could go till next month and then do a deep conditioner and then think that your hair is going to hold on to moisture. The whole point of deep conditioning is to infuse moisture into your hair so that you could actually hold on to most of that during the week. So how it really, you know, like how it basically works is that you infuse what you infuse with heat. It's the one time you really want to use heat on your hair. When you're deep conditioning, you know, I don't know, you could do it the old-fashioned way, where you get like one of those steam caps, right? Like a plastic bag, tie it up, and then you probably put something like this over it. You know, for all you know, I could be deep conditioning right now. Okay? So,
but you can use steam caps if you want to get fancy.
Steam caps or the, what is that, hooded dryer? Whatever. The whole point is just get some sort of heat to your head, get the heat in, and let the deep conditioner marinate for a bit. And I guess, what's a quick deep conditioner comes to mind? Aloe with
I have made a video on deep conditioning, so you could check out that video. It's a banana DIY, you know, deep condition, and it is excellent. Every time I do this, I'm like, can I leave the house like this? Because my hair feels so moisturized. And it, you know, it really receives it well. And another thing about deep conditioning is not only does it help your hair to retain moisture throughout the week, but it also helps to strengthen your hair follicles. It helps to strengthen your hair strands so that at the end of the day, your hair better receives the moisture that you continue to, you know, put on throughout the week.
And the thing too is, over time, with the consistent deep conditioning, consistent regimen that you will, you know, build where you're maintaining your moisture and all of that, you'll actually notice over time where your hair responds a lot better to simplest of things, you know, like you won't find your hair breaking as much, it won't feel as brittle, because that's all stuff that comes back to that whole lack of moisture, where it's like it's brittle, it feels really dry to the touch, or it's frizzy. Frizzy is also a very big indication of lack of moisture. So deep conditioning helps combat that.
With that, and you know, one last thing that we do want to mention is protective styling. The importance of protective styling. You know, lots of the times we expose our hair to the harsh climates. I mean, that's fine. You can do that if you're prepared for it. But a lot of the times we're unprepared for it. So our hair goes into this shock, like, whoa, what just happened here? And then, you know, we end up with, you know, the breaking and all of these things. So you do want to make sure that you do protective styling. And I know what works for me is that every time I do moisturize my hair throughout the week, I have to wet it. So during the winter,
it's a little bit tougher.
Yes, it is. So I try to do a lot of protective styling then with my own hair. You know, I do twists or plaits and stuff like that. I'm running out of options, but that's okay. Hopefully somebody will come to my rescue. But you know, protective styling is very important.
Definitely,
it helps to protect our hair, and it also helps to
a next reason too why you're doing the protective styling. It's one of, as you know, the ends are your oldest part, right? So it's kind of like respect your elders. Right. So you want to keep them up and off your shoulders, and you know, basically, like she said, any kind of elements that you're exposing it to. So whether that's it rubbing on your clothes all the time, that causes breakage. So you want to get into a habit of, yes, you could wear your hair down. We're not saying you can't wear your hair down, or like enjoy like a a nice style or something, but don't make it a habit where that's the only thing that you do. So you want to have a balance.
I hear you. I'm
gonna have a balance, right?
Yeah, she's stepping on all of my toes right now. But you do want to have a balance, especially during the harsh weather.
Winter, definitely. Yeah, keep definitely winter, because the air is way colder, and it's just like snap, crackle, pop. You don't want that with your hair. So
yeah, so that. And another thing too that I do realize is that I travel a lot, so I'm always on the go. So sometimes it's really not practical for me to be carrying, all of the natural DIY stuff that I make, especially when I don't have access to refrigeration and stuff like that. But I do know that in those times that there are healthy alternatives on the market that you could use, and the only one that well, first of all, I use as a conditioner OB Leaf's body / hair butter. It's amazing. That's what I have in my hair right now. But it really does work wonders. So I use that. And then another brand that I do recommend is His Main Glory.
Right.
She has an amazing line of products.
Yes.
And I've used the leave-in conditioner and I fell in love with it. I need to get some more. But I know if you listen to this, I need to get some more. But I can provide a link to her store below so that you have access to on the go, because not all of the times we want to sit and make our own products. So there are brands on the market that have good ingredients. So you just need to read the labels and see what works best for you. Are there any others that you could think of that you would recommend?
If anything, we'll leave names and links below. Off the top of my head, I'm just like, there's so many.
So there are quite a few that are highly recommended. So we can leave the links to these, replacements down below. But at the end of the day, we do encourage you, to be as natural as possible. To go natural and not just with the external things, but pay attention to the inside. The more you focus on the inside, the less you have to focus on the outside. And that's something that I have learned. I've been amazed by it, actually. A typical example, when I cut my hair off, I did my big chop in 2013. I was surprised at how fast my hair grew back, and the thing is, I wasn't really doing anything external. So people would stop me and be like, "What are you doing? Why is your hair growing back so fast?" And I'm like, I'm not doing anything in particular, but I did realize I was already plant-based, and I was drinking my water and getting my exercise in, and getting my sunlight and all of these things, and using natural one ingredient products, and my hair was just responding so quickly to it. So then that's when I realized that what you do on the inside definitely affects the outside. And listen, I did not know anything about taking care of my hair at that time. I grew up in a household with boys, and my mother was the only other female, and she didn't know how to comb. So I grew up not taking care of my hair. My aunts would comb my hair every now and then my parents' friends, and it was just that type of thing. But apart from that, I was always crying when it came to maintaining my hair. So I have learned so much on this journey on learning how to take care of my hair, and I am so thankful that God has brought me to the place that I am today, knowing and learning exactly what's best for my hair. So I just encourage you, to continue to take care of your insides, or if you haven't already, if you haven't started, I encourage you to make the changes today. Is there any last?
So there's one thing that has helped me to cultivate that loving care, I would say, for my hair, is just trying to think of it in terms of the same way how you cultivate your faith, right, in God. It's the same way how you would basically love on your hair, because the same way how if you neglect caring for your hair or your body, anything, right? You're gonna see the effects of it and stuff. And the same way, if you neglect cultivating that faith, you kind of see the effects of it as it trickles out throughout your life. So what I've learned is basically being consistent, really sticking to it. Given having patience, you know, not giving up when it seems like, wow, this stuff that I'm trying right now, it doesn't seem like it's working, but just really being consistent with it, because I've had a similar experience too, actually, when I was younger, where when, you know, you're internally, you're actually keeping up with your exercise, your water and all that stuff, your hair really grows much faster. And even in
less stress.
2007, when I actually had, so disclaimer, I've done several big chops, but my first big chop that I did, similarly, it was like, you know, my hair grew back pretty quickly and people would ask the same thing, but it's just like, you have to, now is when I realized, like, okay, the more I pay attention to all the different factors of what I'm doing, not stressed out, not, you know, like you're actually getting proper rest and drinking my water and exercise, and then, you know, like all these different things, they really play a big part. So just making sure you find that kind of balance and really, and not like, you don't want to, I guess, overwhelm yourself, you know, thinking that, oh my gosh, it's so many different things. Like, it's really simple. You go out every day for work or whatever, so that takes care of air, sunlight, and exercise in like, you know, one. And resting is just really, hey, if you have to take a nap, take a nap. You know, but get these things in however you can. And it's like, you eventually you see how they really play such a pivotal role in how you're feeling, how your hair is thriving. So I just look at it in that term and don't give up. Just really stick to it and find what works for you.
It definitely will pay off at the end. So we do pray that this video was a blessing to you, and if it was, you know, don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with every single person that you know, and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Share your story. Share your testimony. If you have, you know, extra tips that you found helpful, be sure to share that with us. We love to learn, because this is a learning experience for me, for Sasha.
You're never like at a point where you're not learning.
So learning is continual, especially when it comes to our hair. So, and if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe. But it was so nice. Thank you again, Sasha, for being here.
And thank you for having me.
Today, I really do appreciate it. And we look forward to our next video. Bye.